country. We need to be free. I want to be free.
Fellow Southern Cameroonians, Accra and Bazonians. Today I want to speak to you about the promise for which many of our people have given their lives to achieve. That promise of independence is real, tangible, and imminent. Is unquestionable. I say this with a high degree of certainty that the Southern Cameroons, Accra and Bazonians will be free. In this regard, we have commissioned different teams to begin work on our currency, our constitution, and finish work on birth certificate and our national passport. These symbols of our freedom are inherent attributes which will reinforce our distinctiveness and lay the foundation of our state institutions. Fellow Southern Cameroonians, out of relative obscurity and for the soul of our country and posterity, each Ambazonian citizen has this promise to accomplish, preserve, or betray. We are born for a free Ambazonian, and for the sake of our country, and for all those who have laid their lives for this promise, I am determined, motivated, and even more so confident that our determination to overthrow this system in our land will pay off very soon. The future of our liberation is in our hands, and not in the hands of our occupiers and our colonizers. And for us to speed up that day of freedom, we must be united. Only a unified people can survive. A unified people is the first step towards garnering public support. And with a consistent message and a clear structure, the nation will quickly rise up to the multifaceted challenges that confront each newly independent state. Let us begin to get organized and unify in purpose and in thoughts. We all need a country of our own. A nation in which every creative mind will grow. A nation that will be a gemstone for prosperity. A nation that will be the bedrock of moral discipline. A nation that will be self-sufficient. A nation in which freedom of speech can be expressed without fear or panic of arrest. A nation that will be built by the people and for the people. A nation in which the respect for human rights will be in order. A nation free of tyranny, embezzlement, and bureaucratic decadence. We are determined to build a state that is different from the plethora of failed states dotted across the continent. A state whose creed must be a reflection of the collective will and aspirations of our people, erected on a foundation of plurality and sustained through continuous and systematic effort of national dialogue, innovation, and a renewal of the trust between the governed and the governed. For these dreams to be realized, we must be prepared for turbulent days ahead. We have survived 55 years of collective punishment characterized by torture, deprivation, exclusion, and humiliation. We have already gone through difficult times. It might get even more difficult before it gets better. But I want to make this solemn promise to all of our people. We will be free one day. And I say this with all humility and respect for the determination of those who will want the status quo to prevail. Fellow citizens, for more than 55 years, the two Cameroon regimes which have lorded it over our country have done so by the use of force, coercion, and systematic brutality. While they have proclaimed a peaceful Cameroon, such a negative peace coexisted with systematic state violence. They have rejected dialogue and used it when necessary as a tool to recruit from amongst us traitors and survivalists. Violence has coexisted with a sustained effort at maintaining the falsified narrative of one Cameroon. They have been successful for all this while through information control and state violence. My fellow countrymen and women, In the past few years, the social media has given us, the oppressed people, an opportunity to understand our history. It has given us the unique chance to question our past and to write our own stories, stories that reflect the true history of our existence as a people and our evolution as a state. The regime has finally lost the propaganda war. We have successfully used the social media to destroy, distorted, and falsify one Cameroon narrative that has been used for more than 55 years to sustain our oppression. The tyrant regime of Cameroon has started taking notice and is now campaigning against the use of social media as a tool of destabilization. The time is fast approaching, and our oppressor and occupier is in panic mode. Ambazonia consciousness is rising. Fellow compatriots, we have been marching through the tunnel of uncertainty. We have been resisting all the torture, arrest and imprisonment, the humiliation and pain of deprivation. When the people have been drawn with oppression, deprivation, poverty and joblessness, they use their mind to advocate for their own liberation and the liberation of their land. Our nation was invaded, annexed, and all its institutions closed down. You just need to look around you who runs your town and your provinces, who controls your educational system, who controls your legal system, who now controls your economy. This is the true face of annexation. Now you have seen it with the common law system. I want to congratulate our lawyers for taking a bold stand beyond the preservation of our legal tradition. But their stand was not good enough. By calling for a federation, they showed a lack of proper understanding and depth of historical episodes that have marked our coexistence with Cameroon. By calling for a federation, they also showed a lack of understanding of the geopolitical and strategic interests that informs the occupation of our country and the determination by which the occupier is willing to go to erase our history. The lawyers took a stand but showed naivety in their appreciation of the effort thus far by learned colleagues who sought historical justice within the system for our own people. The lawyers failed to appreciate the tragedy of our educational system. Francophone states do not federate. Francophone states do not coexist when they don't dominate. Full independence from Cameroon is non-negotiable. A total break from the past is the only secure way for our future and for the future of both peoples. As a colleague once wrote, political systems evolve, they don't rotate. Fellow countrymen and women, now is the time for us as a people, disenfranchised for 55 years. Now is the time for us, the rightful owner of this land, its bounties and its treasures. Now is the time for us as a people to rise up and terminate this ineffective, corrupt and brutal system that has robbed us of dignity, pride and hope for more than half a century. I urge all of you to prepare yourselves, for there is a great battle ahead of us. We have to stand up on our feet to rescue our home, our nation, our people from the barbarism of Cameroon and its decadent leadership. We will resist and fight back to retain our glory, freedom and our country. This is the only way we can restore hope and happiness to the millions of our people who have suffered undue tribulation. This is the only way we can ensure that the blood of the dead and the pain of the tortured and depraved was never in vain. Freedom from intoxication, manipulation and hopelessness is our right. No one else will do it for us. Nobody can give it to us. No amount of visit to the United Nations, no amount of resolutions, speeches and entreaties will change our fate. Only resistance that will be conducted block by block, village by village, town by town, will liberate our country from 55 years of suffocation. It is the only way through such sustained efforts that we will be able to emerge more secure, hopeful, and for the first time have a country of our own. God bless Ambazonia. God bless the Southern Cameroon.